Hi, everybody. Welcome to Working with Designers to Grow Your Showroom Business. I'm Tim Stumm, the Creative Director of Z-Lite, and I'm having a live stream here in the Z-Lite showroom at the world famous Trademark in Dallas. I want to introduce my panel. I just want to say hi to the panel. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi. Hi.
We're going to start with Lisa. Lisa is down in the right-hand corner. There's Lisa down there. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
McDinnon, the founder of Laguna Beach-based interior design firm. Lisa McDinnon Design in 2000 inspired the region's beauty, history, and culture. Lisa has developed a distinctive style that regenerates coastal California and creates modern interiors that are sophisticated, unexpected, and timeless. With degrees in both fine arts and interior design, Lisa brings superb rendering skills and has been recognized in the industry with multiple design awards and coverage in national publication. Lisa's home and lifestyle boutique, Nuance, is a trend-setting store in Laguna Beach, showcasing her modern, organic style with custom furniture, lighting, and carefully curated selection of unique tabletop and home furnishings. The Lisa McDinnon collection for Hinckley Lighting debuted in January 2017. The collection features designs that demonstrate her style and imagination, and is another example of her continued passion for design. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you.
Next on our panel is Kristin Kuvian. Where do we all go?
Hi.
Somebody's doing something. I want to always say she's always been the creative type. She loves bringing together concepts, makes a client feel special, something inspires them when they give and take the vision and the mood. They all lead to unique feeling she's never found in any other line of work. She grew up in South Florida. She now lives in the proud state of Texas. She's top 3 interior designers in Austin for 2020, Texas Builder Association Best Interior Design, Potato Homes Awards, People Choice Awards, Best of Houzz, and featured in Architectural Digest 1999. Wow, Christina, that's a lot. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is going to be fun. And everybody, our veteran panelist, Linda Longo. Hi,
Hey.
okay, you guys,
Hey.
everybody knows Linda Longo. Everybody loves Linda Longo in our industry. I asked her for a bio, and if you know Linda Longo, she does not like talking about herself or parading herself around. So I got this out of her, and it's awesome. Linda Longo is an award-winning journalist reporting on the lighting industry for nearly 30 years. I can't believe that.
I know.
Started her career at Kitchen and Bath Design News, covering trends in the new construction and remodeling. For 16 years, she was the editor-in-chief of Home Lighting and Accessories magazine, where she received writing awards from the American Society of Business Publication Editors, as well as the Eddie Awards for writing and editorial leadership. Her first conference, ALA conference, was in 1994. And she attended nearly every edition since.
Yep.
She established in lighting scene in 2011 and recently announced a partnership with the digital news source Electrical Trends, and will be co-launching a new lighting resource covering the entire spectrum of the industry. Welcome, Linda Longo.
Thank you.
All right, Linda. All right, you guys. This is the coolest panel I think we've had in a long time for knowing why showrooms should find why they have to have or should have a really good designer program and how that adds to their business. Now, a lot of showrooms think I'm retail only, or I'm just builder only, or I'm commercial only. And that's really great during the times. But when times start waning, I mean, we're all in the good times right now. We just can't get anything in. So I want everyone to understand that you should have 2 or 3 other parts or segments of your business that you could have when times get a little, let's say housing starts to go down, you should have designers. You should have retail. You should have maybe a little builder. Whatever it is, you should be diversified. So if something starts to wane, they uphold you. So here comes a really easy one. Designers. They know what they want. They know what they're looking for. And it's just super easy. So I want to dive into the why. Why should showrooms have a designer program? I'm going to start off with Lisa. And Lisa, why should a showroom have a designer program?
Well, I think a showroom should have a designer program because as interior designers, we're really looking to build relationships with people. And that's really not something that you can do online. And for me, I think it really boils down to, it is the relationship, it's the people, it's being able to reach out to somebody in your community that can partner with you and help you work better, faster, smarter, and feel supported. How many times do we try to order something online and it's a one-way conversation? And I think a lot of people are really tired of that, and there's a lot of pitfalls. So, for me, I'm always looking for ways that I can support my community and build these relationships that I can develop for years to come.
Excellent. Christina, you have a specific showroom that you really love and adore. I know it's down, Bob and Gabriel. You're more than welcome to give them a shout out and say hi to them. They're probably on listening right now. But it's you. Why should showrooms have a designer program?
Yeah. Hey, Lighting Inc. Shout out. Love you guys. It's such a valuable connection for me as a designer, because I would love to show the beauty of the products in person. And the last thing I want to do with my clients is to have them go to a showroom and then buy it online. I want them to sit down with the expertise at the showrooms and go through the entirety of their the lighting in their project. Because for me, I treat lighting as illuminated sculpture in people's homes. So it just takes the design to a whole different level. So having those relationships forged and really, having the showroom say, okay, here, let's do the guilty spend on this fixture, but looking at the overall budget, let's value engineer different parts of the lighting package to maybe the look for less. That is such a great benefit to me, having people with that kind of knowledge and know-how at my fingertips. So I love supporting and shopping local. Plus, I love how I'm just so grateful to showrooms. They manage all the logistics and headaches and any kind of issues that may arise. So that's really why I love leveraging local showrooms.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Linda did a deep dive in here for the showrooms to understand why designers are a good catch. Linda, do you want to walk us through?
Yeah, basically, this is the overall number, the 100,000 interior designers, and that's overall, whether they're ASID or IFIDS, or if they're just independent, hanging out their own shingle. That's a huge number. And interior designers, what's so great about them is that they are doing more than one project at a time. That's repeat business. And for a lighting showroom, I think with all the changes happening in lighting with technology, they're a great resource for these designers. And when you look at these numbers and you realize how many designers are out there and they're doing multiple projects a year, the math is much better for having lighting sales when you're working with a designer than a consumer who's going to come in. Maybe it used to be every 20 years. If you have somebody savvy, you might replace their lighting every 10 years. So it's sort of reliable business that keeps coming in your door.
Excellent. Next slide.
That's a big number. Now that's overall, that's with furnishings and everything.
Mm.
But lighting has gotten a lot of attention now in shelter magazines and TV, you know, the HGTV type of shows. And the luxury market, as we mentioned, is doing really well. That's the market that hires designers typically. And so you can get those higher end manufactured, those brands moving more. It's not the low end, give me a recessed light. It's really this high end looking for statement pieces. And I think that's where the lighting showrooms really can shine, and everybody benefits. The interior designers do for having unusual products, and the lighting showroom does by moving the higher end merchandise.
I want to go back and say 40 billion with a B, billion
Wow.
dollars out there. It's not just lighting anymore. Showrooms now have realized that the airspace in their showroom was full and all the floor and walls was empty. And they've gotten and they brought accessories in and some furniture. So designers love to know that that's there, that they can run in and grab a couple pieces that they needed that they didn't have at the house or the business that they're designing at. So you guys, you need to have a chunk of this $40 billion industry. If you're not having a part of it, hop on board, kids.
And that's just the US, just by the way. I mean, there's many times too where a designer will be doing projects overseas for the same client. You have a high-end client who then has a vacation property or something. So that's just the number for the US. So the worldwide one was 150 billion, I believe. So those numbers are out there.
Wow.
This is just a breakdown, yes, of just the different affiliations,
Go back.
ASID and IDS.
13,500 design members, 5,500 students coming up. Now those can be your interns during the summer, and you take your intern, turn into a customer just because they love you and they work for you, and now they're going to boomerang come back in. 6,000 industry partners represented, 350 chapters across America. That is the easiest thing, to have them come have a meeting, get on their schedule and have a meeting in your showroom and host it so they can see exactly how you guys are working. Thank you for that. That's great news to hear.
Also about that, these ASID, they need to have CEU credits every year in order to keep current with their credentials. And lighting showrooms, and I do know a few who have reps, shout out to Richard Allen for doing that, who do CEU accredited programs in the lighting showroom. They can even do it as a webinar if you know, in case of a pandemic like we've had here, but they can then get those CEU credits. It brings them into the showroom, and so they get something, and you expose your showroom to a lot more designers.
Excellent. Christina, I'm going to come to you and ask you, what do designers want or need from a showroom?
I think one of the big things is just keeping current on what products are coming out, what new innovations are coming out. I like to integrate a lot of voice activated technology or lights that turn on and off at specific times. So just the home automation space in general, because I think there's nothing worse than spending all this money on a lighting package and they only turn it on when a guest comes over, you know, on a rare occasion to their home. So I want them to appreciate lighting as part of their everyday living.
And this isn't for showrooms. Understand how she's answering this. She's answering it from a design aspect, and she needs showrooms to help her go through what's smart home technology. We need to be the person for her to rely on. This is such a great relationship between showrooms and designers. They need us as much as we need them. Lisa, do you want to add anything to?
Yeah,
showroom?
Definitely. So, right, what Christina was saying, technology, that's of course really important. One, area that's new to a lot of designers is the LED world, and integrating LEDs when it comes to even the different temperatures of LEDs between your under cabinet lighting, blending with your LED fixtures, blending with your recess can lighting, making sure that all of that integrates from a color perspective, and then an integration perspective. So I think the technological aspects, and everything changes so fast. So being able to keep us up to date on new architectural lighting products that we can incorporate into our designs is really, really important. And I do rely heavily on the showrooms for that aspect. I think another important thing is having this sort of reciprocal trust, right, between the showroom and the designer. And so making sure that the designer, there's a very clearly established, trade program, right? That when we come into the showroom, what I'm looking for is to have a very clear sense of what the pricing structure is. Are you showing retail? Are you showing wholesale? Are you like, what is my discount? How are we communicating together, organizationally in front of the client, and to make sure that that relationship is being protected, quite often. And I think it's great, the customers, my clients want to go shopping, on their own. They don't always want me tagging around, although, I'm a lot of fun to go shopping with. And but sometimes they want to do it. Sometimes they want to just kind of browse around themselves. They want to do it on their own. They want to ask questions with, by themselves, or, if I'm traveling or something and, can't come. So, I mean, being able to have that, also that comfort that, that showroom is honoring that relationship. And as mentioned before, we're a source of continued business, repeat business, multiple projects, that type of thing. So that's a little bit on my end, what I'm looking for.
I'm glad you touched on the partnership part of this. If there is a designer program built into the showroom and somebody walks in and says, oh, my designer sent me in, it is very imperative that we protect the designer and their reputation. Just like a builder is. Somebody says, they come in, they said, ABC Builder sent me. I'm always going to say, we love them. They're such a great builder. Build it up, get the rapport, and then send all pricing straight to the builder and the designer. Please do not share their pricing with the clients. Just talk retail at that point. Don't say anything like, I can't give you their discount. Don't make it all cloak and dagger. Just a matter of fact, I will send your selections over to Lisa and she'll get in contact with you with her pricing. That's just the best way to handle that. I know they come in and they don't, they have a designer and they try to play a little game with all of us. But if you're quoting retail, you'll never get upside down. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense to everyone? What opportunities do designers bring to the showroom? I'm going to start with you again, Lisa.
Okay, well, we mentioned it before, repeat business, right? So designers bring repeat business. And so that's a continued, revenue stream. And of course, the more support and the better the relationship, the more business the designer is going to provide. I also think there's an opportunity on a marketing standpoint, right? It's a win-win situation where maybe you do host an ASID event and you get some designers in the area to speak, or they get a chance. You become an avenue of building relationships, right? And you say, I'm going to have an event, I'm going to have builders, I'm going to have architects and designers all coming together, and speaking about design. And then now you've given an opportunity for everybody to be networking and for people to come into the store. Depending if there's a media component, you could potentially get some publicity from it by being in a magazine or being in the ASID newsletter or being in the local paper. I could go on and on. I feel really strongly about events and how they can uplift and support and be a win-win-win situation for all the participants, that are involved.
You recently did a show house, or a couple of them that you've been involved in.
Yeah.
So those local showrooms get to brag about you selected in their showroom and you hung it in the show house.
Yes.
So when you're standing there and people are like, who's that light by? You can say, oh, it's mine, it's Hinckley, and I bought it over at ABC Showroom.
That is correct. Yeah, that's another really great way. Show houses, again, because you're getting, the public walking through, you're getting, designers working together with all of the amazing suppliers. You're getting the advertising and the marketing. I mean, we did the Christopher Kennedy compound in Palm Springs for Modernism, and we had we had Architectural Digest feature us, we had House Beautiful feature us, we had Modernism Week was, advertising us. So, and then you have, the big, lighting stores that are supplying, as well as all the different manufacturers. And again, it's just a win, 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 win all the way around. And
all the way around, yes.
All the way around. Yes, highly recommend.
Christina, same question to you. What opportunities do you bring, or your people, your associates, bring to showrooms by using them?
So one of the first things is that we are organized to the nth degree. So we know exactly the full list of specifications. We're not wasting anybody's time just browsing around. We're in it to win it. We sit down, we go through our whole procurement list. So we're very streamlined and focused. So for a sales associate, it's, I would say it's a 95% guarantee that they're going to get a sale, and they're going to get a fairly sizable sale, because we're doing the entirety of the project all in one shopping spree, if you will.
It's a win-win when you walk in the door, because you are there.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not like retail where somebody's coming in looking. You're coming in to get a project done.
Right. And then I mentioned this to you, Tim. So one of the things that I do as a designer, I have rules with my clients. And I say, if we are going to use a local showroom, which I love to do for, various reasons, we can see the products, we're relying on their expertise, they're going to help consolidate delivery. You all know what you bring to the table. I say the rules are, then you're going to buy at that showroom. You're not allowed to thereafter go online and, shop for 25 hours to find a $10 savings on a product. If you happen to, then allow everybody the opportunity at the showroom to, see if they can meet or beat that price. But if they're like, no, I want to buy stuff online, then I'm like, well, then that's the only route I'm going to go with this project. You're not going to go into the showrooms with me, waste their valuable time. So, it's that loyalty that Lisa was talking about. We want you to protect us, but I also want to protect my people at the showrooms.
That is, first of all, thank you for your loyalty. We know that not all people do this. I refer to builder business, designer business, any kind of other businesses coming in other than retail, like dating. And so the way I kind of look at it is, growing up, we had some bad dates, in the first date, in a week, in a couple months, whether we're going to drop that, move on and go, this is like, get it out of here, right? Same thing when we're in a showroom and a designer walks in, we'll know if that's a fit with us. And those are the ones, obviously,
Mm.
to everyone that walks into your door. But the ones that click with you, understand your margins, understand what you're a business because they're a business, and there's a happy medium between everyone. Those are the loyal ones. Those are the ones you want to marry. Those are the ones you want to cultivate. Christina, as she did a shout out to her local showroom, only deals with those showrooms. In fact, when we did a search out for great designers, she was referred to us by her showroom because
Oh.
they just think
Oh.
everything of her and the business she brings in. And one of the funny things that we were talking about earlier was when you guys think that designers are just doing fluffy, beautiful palm desert homes, they also get a couple gigs that are fun now and then. And Christina had to do a gun store.
That's different.
So I thought it was fun. She sent me some pictures of the store. And yes, look at Miss Chanel there, all gorgeous glamour. Put an antler chandelier up in the middle of this place. I asked her if there was pink gun. Said yes, there was. So don't think that just a showroom high end. A showroom has to be omni-channel for a designer. They need a statement piece, but they also need all the bread and butters for all the other rooms. It's not all high end all day. It's just like any other person walking in. The money goes in the great room, the kitchen, and the master, and we cheat all the other rooms with lookalikes or value. So, okay, let's talk about omni-channel and sales. Linda, bringing the aspect in of omni-channel, how do showrooms benefit by having many different types, builders, retail, designers? How is that a benefit for them?
Well, it was just sort of what Christina was saying here. She's doing a gun shop. Similar designers, interior designers, when people find a designer they like, they'll use them in across the categories. They might do a restaurant. They might be doing an office, and offices have gotten more decorative now, lobby areas, boutiques, retail boutiques. So I think having the kind of product and the kind of designer that is fluent in all those styles really benefits a showroom.
Absolutely.
What else could I add to that?
Everything. Everywhere that anyone walks into a showroom, it's an opportunity for a showroom to make a sale. And that's what they're there for. And what the designer is there for is to take care of their clients. And we as showrooms can do that. We can make sure that their job is easy. Now, let's talk about the how. How do we make this happen? How do we reach designers? Lisa, I'm down the street from you. I'm probably 5 miles from you. If I wanted to reach out to you, just hypothetically, how can I get in front of you for 5 minutes and tell you about my showroom? What is the best approach for you from us?
Food? No, I'm just kidding.
No, that's awesome.
I love it.
Is awesome. So, wine. I'm all on that too.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. You come in with like little muffins or something. You will get. We're like little mice. We all just kind of come on down. It's like, oh, what do we have now? Really, just.
No, so that's that's what I was looking for, Lisa. I was looking for that. It's not a stuffy approach. It is. Designers are fun. They're very creative people. Architects, you have to be a little stiffer when you walk in, and you don't walk in with catalogs, but you just try to make the relation. With designers, you can have a blast walking in there. And if the principal is not available, talk to the staff.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Yeah. Because a lot of times the principal is not in the office, right? So you know, whether it's the office manager there or design assistant or whatever, you know, you just start to build a relationship, you know, and, you know, whatever, you know, your foot in the door can be is great. So a lot of designers are really busy and they want to work efficiently. And so, you know, I would say, you know, if you come in, just be prepared and organized. And if you're going to walk in without an appointment, be really brief. Because, you know, our office in particular, you know, we're by appointment only, and my schedule is really pretty regimented. And so we don't have a lot of time for like walk-ins per se, but, you know, build a relationship with the front office person. And, you know, if you're trying to get FaceTime with the owner or the design team, you know, I think then you just present yourself and, you know, figure out an opportunity. So again, events are great, but being able to just come in with some products, sometimes it's just being able to bring a new product like, hey, I just went to Light Ovation and I have a couple really great things. I saw the kind of projects you're doing on your Instagram and I think it's really cool. And that's also a really great way to connect is on Instagram. And I ended up using a lot of that actually during the pandemic when a lot of the businesses were shut down. And if I needed to get in touch with the owner, my little trick was to message somebody on their Instagram and say, hey, I love your feed. I'd love to get some product information from you. Can you email me a price sheet, blah, blah, blah. And then you just start building a relationship and it's this kind of new way of access, and everybody's on their phones these days, right? And interior designers are constantly on their phones taking pictures and doing product research and things like that. So that's the trick.
That's awesome. Christina, if I want to come see you, how do I get into your front door? How do I meet you?
So I'm different than Lisa, and this is a good paradigm because I'm a home-based business. So you're not just going to be rolling in up to my home. So, you know, one of the things that Lisa said is, you know, Instagram, you know, I'll attend to my Instagram messages before I will attend to my emails sometimes. So that's a good way to get a hold of me, or with the Contact Us page, to reach out to my project manager and set up a time. You know, I'm open to a Zoom call. I'm also open to anything chocolate or bacon infused. So I can totally be bought with food as well. I'm on that train with you, Lisa.
Folks, do you see a theme going on here? Do you see a theme? Any food will work out perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Chanel. We could do Chanel.
Go big, Christina.
Go big.
Yes.
I like that. It could be Chanel. I love that. Just a handbag between friends. What's that? Let's talk about what kind of SOP manual or should a showroom have in place to start to greet you guys when you walk in. Linda, do you want to help me on this? Let's talk about education of staff first.
Okay, I would say that there's plenty. We're talking for the showrooms.
For showrooms?
Take advantage of the reps that are offering to do product training, to offer to do different types of, I'm having a battery problem here. Any kind of training that they offer that is either interior design or some on sustainability, wellness. It doesn't have to just be the lighting component, but take advantage of the reps that are offering this kind of training, and go to ALA. ALA has a lot of resources to stay up to date for technology. Get the accreditation, become a lighting specialist, become a CLC, because as interior designers have their ASID credentials, the same thing, they want to talk to an expert that's accredited, not just someone behind a counter, you know, that just happened to be on that day. It makes them have more credibility.
Oh, I think a battery happened.
Oh, no.
She'll be back up in a second. Sorry about that, guys. So she's right. Having a lighting specialist or the certified lighting specialist designation, we cannot have a host or a first 6-month new employee handle a designer when they walk in, we have to know more in the showroom than the designer knows, because otherwise they won't need us. Otherwise, they can just go on the internet and get what they need. And we're a bricks and mortar, like they are a bricks and mortar business. We want them and their clients in here. One of the greatest things I've always found out about when a designer brings a client in, the client likes to brag about this for the rest of the day. The client says, oh, Christina took us over to ABC showroom today. Oh, I've never been in there. Oh my, they have the best stuff. And it's this word of mouth. People love to talk about what they saw, explored. So you get that rest of the day, everything the client or any person the client walks into, for the rest of the day, they're talking about your showroom, and that word of mouth spreads. It's kind of like a bad restaurant. You're driving by a restaurant and somebody says, oh, that one's really horrible. Well, have you eaten there? No, I heard about it. It does it in reverse. So I think that's a really cool thing. The education of staff and who works with the designers. Please, please, please make sure it's a seasoned veteran. Even assign somebody that is in control of the design community walking into your showroom. I know Bob handles you a lot, Christina. I know there's some great showroom people there also that you use. Lisa, same thing. When you walk into showrooms, you have your favorites. And again, it's like that dating, that relationship is done really well. There should be for the trade program, an online application, if you will, that they could fill out prior to walking in, and that the email happens back and forth, or slide into their Instagram, their DMs, and tell them what percentage off they're going to get. If you have any kind of free shipping that's already built into your programs, offer that to them, because that's where we win, where they normally would have to pay shipping. Getting them and say, if you choose from this line and this line, whatever it is, we have free shipping on Friday. Offer that up if you want. You don't have to, but I'm just saying it's an advantage for you all to do that. And what kind of events, ASID and IDS, for the two ladies, Christina, you'll go first. Do you attend those? ASID, IDS, the Design Guild? There's so many design groups out there. Realize that the ASID is a design. You have to have an interior design degree to be part of it. But that's not saying anything's less than the others. Just know who you're speaking with when they walk in the door. What kind of events can we have for ASID or IDS or the Guild in our showrooms that would make you all come?
Ooh, that's a great question. I think like market just happened. Here are some of the hot trends that we found at market. So even if you don't have it in your showroom, just to have that conversation, because I can't keep up as fast as you as professionals can. So it's kind of nice to, get a market update. And just there are a lot of remodeler association events that I go to, building association events. So not only am I appreciating the lighting showroom, but I'm forging relationships with potential customers for myself. So if you present an opportunity where I can expand my sales pipeline, all the better.
Lisa, I love when you said maybe have a night where designers and architects and builders are all in the same room networking amongst all the beautiful fixtures. I absolutely love that one. I just think that is that's an easy one to pull together.
Yeah, it's definitely easy. And, that way you're not relying too on like one particular group to fill your room, right? And so it could be like, real estate agents and builders and, interior designers and maybe some clients or whatever it may be, but it's just that mix where now, you're becoming, what we've said in the industry is like, you're the gatekeeper. You're the one that's there putting people together, uplifting the community, being a resource for everybody. And that's great. So because, sometimes we might come into the lighting showroom and we have a small project that we don't have a builder on, and guess what? We need a really good electrician. Who can I call? Okay, do you have a resource for that? Become kind of that resource and that opportunity. So, but I think other ways to incentivize people to come into the showroom for an event, if you want sort of, like a theme, so to speak. I like the trends. People obviously want to know about that. So Christina, that was great. Another recommendation would be, let's say, maybe you end up having one particular, like an owner or of a particular lighting collection, right? Or a lighting company that's in town. And I sort of use this as an example because a lot of times my fabric showrooms will call me and say, hey, we'd love to have you come in. We're going to do a whole, trunk show with the designer of this particular fabric collection. And that's exciting because then you're like, ooh, maybe I get a chance to talk to, that I really respect this one particular designer. I really love this company. I want to learn more. And it gives me a chance to maybe meet the owner. And that's an exciting opportunity. And then, you really get to delve into the product even more. So you can be focused on one particular thing. So I think that's always a fun, that's always a fun opportunity. And then of course, having those CEUs that us designers need, and to really learn something important and kind of be able to walk away with either some more product information or more training, and have that kind of time, whether it's a late afternoon or early evening, to kind of stroll through the showroom and take photos and get tear sheets and get pricing and be able to do those things that you might not be able to do if you're there with a client. So you're kind of building your visual portfolio at the same time.
Now, I know as designers, you both are extremely busy, but I'm going to put you on the spot. Don't you love this stuff? You have no idea. If we do a room, we want to have an event, whether I've got a rep coming in to show off something, morning or afternoon?
Afternoon.
Afternoon.
100%. Look at that. And you thought you were just going to listen to the panel talk. We just gave you such a nugget.
Afternoon, early evening.
And would you like it arrive at 5 and get done at 7-ish? Or earlier
or even later for me, because a lot of times I've already got clients booked until 5:30. It's hard to get out of a client meeting, and it's like you can't say, oh, like a therapy session, sorry, your time's up, bye. You have to romance yourself out of the appointment and wrap it up. So sometimes our days aren't necessary, we more time. So for me, later in the day, early evenings, always best.
Okay, and the skinny truly is, you are in therapy with these people. Your clients, you are the doctor.
So true.
Are telling you every bit of the tea, aren't they?
Totally confidential. Yes, just like a doctor.
Of course it
just
is.
Like, yes.
It's so funny what they tell, and they do that in the showrooms too. You could be working on something with them, and all of a sudden they will just spill something out that you're like, oh, interesting, and sharing, and you don't know. You have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so speaking of trends, you want to have their little paddle?
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
Yes. Okay, ready.
Okay.
Bring it.
So you guys, we're just going to talk about trends just a little bit. Now, these trends can start in California, work their way through the East Coast, and then hit back into the heartland. So this is just opinions in their areas or what's going on in the marketplace. So I'm just going to throw out whether it could be flooring, it could be wall, it could be lighting. We're just going to get a little taste here of everyone. The reason why Linda isn't involved in this and all aspects, Linda's been in more showrooms across America than anybody that I know. She has written on more showrooms.
That's probably true.
Style. It is so true. The one I love is, and I'm just going to go on a little tangent here. The one is, folks, you have to be ready when your guests come in. You have to be ready to wait on people. You can't be getting your coffee. You can't be setting up your computer. Let me turn this on real quick. You got to be ready. And there are some showrooms across America that are Linda's interviewing, and she's in there to interview them at her interview time, and she walk around and find somebody to greet her and say hello.
Oh, goodness.
Or they're eating pizza.
It's just one of those things, you guys. The door's open. You got to be on your best behavior at all times, especially if you're trying to get designers in. Because what if a designer walks in at 9:05 in the morning, has an appointment, and we're not ready? The music's not on. It's not. We're just not ready for them. What do you think their client's going to think about them? They're going to blame them for bringing them to our showroom.
Well, you know, just another point there. I've been in a showroom not that long ago, probably a month ago, where I happened to overhear what the two people at the sales desk were talking about. They were complaining about a customer and just going on in a negative way. And you just think like, oh, I shouldn't be hearing this. And I don't want them to talk about me this way when I leave. And that's, you know, they're just in their own world. They didn't even realize who can listen in.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I secret shopped a showroom. I walked in on purpose. I had my checkbook sticking on my back pocket. I wanted to see if they would close on me or acknowledge me. And they were talking about their daughter's prom dresses the whole time and never once.
Oh, goodness.
I know that stuff like this will happen, but it's, you know, in your weekly meetings, we have to just remind people that everyone has ears and they can hear things. And the greeting is 99% of the sale. How you doing it and not, you know, straight in. So let's talk about decor trends. Okay.
Right.
The first one is we're going to talk about transitional decor, transitional lighting, transitional decor. Paddle up. All right, we're on it. Industrial style.
Wait, I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
What was that?
Industrial style.
Yeah, there's some loft.
It's starting to wane a little bit. It's still a bit in the heartland. It's starting to wane a little bit. How about the vintage bulb?
Oh, I hope.
Bulb.
Oh, yeah, I'm with that.
Yeah. So if you're talking to designer, change out your light bulbs. They don't always have to be a vintage. I've learned that in this showroom too, where we've designed a transitional, and by putting an Edison bulb in, it turns it industrial. And then by putting a G16 round bulb in, all of a sudden it turned to contemporary.
Yep.
So it's really easy to do. How about grand millennial design? Grand millennial design.
You have to embrace it.
You have
That's what I'm
to.
gonna say. It's something you hear about more than see. I haven't seen it for myself yet, but I hear that it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about shabby chic? Again, this is regional, guys, so there's no right or wrong answer. If it's playing in your city, it's playing in your city, which is really good. Let's talk about wallpaper. How about minimal stripes? If you're doing a vignette in a showroom, minimal wallpaper for your vignette. Okay. How about floral patterns? Floral patterns.
Yeah, I've seen.
You're seeing floral patterns even on canvases right now. Big oversized canvases with big giant floral patterns on there. Okay, how about grand canvas art, hand painted canvases?
Yeah, I think so. Mhm.
The reason why I'm kind of doing this and the why we're doing this is showrooms, when you're doing vignettes, here's your answers. Here's your answers of what's in trend. Okay, botanical prints.
Yep.
Botanical prints. Yeah, I like
Botanical
botanical.
prints.
Yeah.
There you go. For those who are curating artwork in their showrooms,
Mm,
botanical
Yeah.
print, really big. Let's talk about some tile, subway tile.
Getting there.
I guess it's always.
I'm gonna go with you guys. Okay. Now you can take subway tile and turn it into vertical and get
Yeah, straight set. Yeah.
and get yourself another 7 years out of it.
Right.
But how about geometric tiles?
Oh yeah. Double,
Yeah.
Oh, I
double.
love the double. I love the double. That's awesome. Okay. How about herringbone inspired patterns? Herringbone
Yeah,
inspired,
I see it.
whether it's
All
tile
day,
or wood
all day.
floors.
If I had
all
two
day.
paddles, if I had 2, 3, I'd have,
It's a big rage right now.
Yeah.
And taking, so you can actually take that subway tile and put it into a herringbone pattern.
Right.
Right on trend,
there
y'all.
you go, there you go.
How about layered colors? Lots of bold
Oh
layered.
yeah. Heck yeah.
Oh, I love the panel on this one. How about monochromatic? Monochromatic tone.
Definitely white for monochromatic.
Mhm. Yeah.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
How about if I'm doing a bunch of beiges together?
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a little splash of something with it, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Organic modern. We're in.
There's a terminology called Scandifornia's, is Scandinavian and California style merged. Anyone heard of it?
No,
I
no.
love, that sounds amazing.
No, but,
I love
but
it.
it does sound amazing.
Yeah, it's a real
Let's have a
relaxed.
CEU on that.
There you go. That works for me. Okay, how about fabric shades? People are starting to not want to see the light.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah,
We're
I
starting
haven't,
to
not
see the
here.
introduction of some kind of fabric shade. I like a mixed message on that one.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a softer tone. And you know, with shades, you can take the shade off during the summertime and make it look light and airy, and then warm it up in the winter by putting a shade on. I'm not talking like the
Good
little
idea.
shade. I'm just talking a really nice linen shade that's on there. How about metal shades covering light bulbs?
Mm.
It's still around.
It's
Yeah.
yeah.
It's around, yeah.
I love it. It's around. All right, here's the big debate. Chandeliers,
What chandelier?
crystal chandeliers.
Oh,
But not in
my
the
blingy
unique
girl
way.
heart. Yeah, true.
In
Let's
a
just-
more contemporary way, in a
Yeah,
more
let's
modern
discuss
way.
this. Let's discuss this. We're not talking your grandma's chandelier.
Right.
No.
More delicate looking, like delicate drops, that type of
Mhm.
thing.
Good. Something that has room to breathe with a little bit,
Yes.
just a little bit of bling on there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm watching Lisa because Lisa is working on, what are you working on? You're working on next year's stuff already, aren't you?
Yeah. And beyond.
The year after that, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Did y'all see her smile quietly there? Okay. All right, ladies, thank you so much for doing that. We're going to conclude our trends.
That was fun.
We have some questions that
That
some
was fun.
people from the viewers. All right. What kind of discounts or opportunities are designers looking for? I'll let whoever wants to jump in and take that one. What kind of discounts or opportunities are designers looking for from a showroom?
Okay, I'll talk about that. I mean, I think that we're looking for a better discount than what our clients can get without us. So
Straightforward, I love it.
I mean, that's the key. And I know that there are certain manufacturers that we can't, or that the showrooms can't give us a deeper discount on. And we understand that. But margins with lighting have diminished. If you look at what kind of markups we were, as designers, we were able to get 10, 15 years ago, it's almost like cut in half. And sometimes part of hiring an interior designer is to hire us for obviously our talent and our design services that we provide, but it's also to help offset some of our design fees by giving our clients great value with what they're buying. And so if we lose that buying power as an industry, we're also losing an edge, for clients to hire designers. And so, I always say, I want to be able to give you the best product at the best price and utilize my design service in order to do that, because I can get better pricing than you can. So for me, I think just across the board, that's important. And then also too, I think you tapped into it earlier, Tim, when you talked about freight. That's a big issue right now. And if showrooms are able to assist their designers on projects by also passing on, discounted freight or free freight on certain things, let's say they might not be able to give you the discount on the product per se, but they can help leverage some freight that will allow you to be able to provide a better price to your client at the end of the day. That's kind of what we're really looking for.
Christina, same question.
She touched upon a lot of what I was going to say.
Okay.
One of the things for me though is, even if because the margins are often so narrow that they don't have any kind of further discount, I always relate that to the showrooms. Like, I would never want to lose a sale just because they're not able to dig deeper into their pocket. So I always like having those pragmatic conversations up front. I mean, certainly not in front of the client, but they just kind of know that them getting the sale and the client getting the best product at the best value is the most important thing to me as a designer.
Excellent. Linda, anything?
That's really a question for them, I think.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got one question. What kind of events can be done with interior design associations when you live in a small town? And I think we touched on that, of having more than just one person room, but is there anything else we can help this person out? One thing that comes to mind for me is maybe instead of having some kind of big event that Linda and I will talk about in a minute here, how to have an area for designers to sit and not be out in the general public or in a corner, so they have their own. But one of the things that we were talking about is maybe have a lunch for them. Maybe bring them in and they can sit with the most educated, or even the owner would be awesome. And just have a lunch for 4 or 5 people. Just a nice little 30-minute, cater it in, go up to, heck, if you can even cook it, even better. Made is always good. So what do you guys
That's
think?
a good idea. I think it's good, but I'm not a designer. What do you
Any
guys
other
think?
ideas for in a small town, how to get people into a showroom?
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have, I mean, I like those, I like those ideas. The other thing that you can also look at doing is doing something that might be collective with some other retail stores in the area. Maybe there's like a boutique in the area, and maybe you cross promote from that standpoint. Maybe it's a jewelry store, or I always actually relate lighting to jewelry, right? So, but maybe it's something like that, or clothing, or a home store, or something to that effect, where, you're pooling resources from more than just, yourself.
Excellent.
The other thing I would
And
think of is, instead of, can you collect, like have a theme more like starting the new year, or a holiday thing for all designers, like the immediate design community, because you might not have a chapter of ASID near you, but chances are you
Right.
probably have 20 designers near you.
Yeah.
And just sort of like a holiday cheer, or, starting off the new year, or just something to get them all chatting together, or something. I don't think that's considered more competition. Would you guys think that?
Mm-mm.
You have no problem
Yeah.
hanging out with other designers? Yeah, I mean, that might do
Yeah.
it too, just something for a theme.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or you could have like a panel of designers come to the store and talk about seasonal trends to clients. So you're, having an opportunity for me to look at a bigger client base, and then you're just kind of having a fun interplay with designers in the area, and everybody, like we're doing, kind of chimes in from a different perspective on it.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
a lot of times, like a Chambers of Commerce event, to host that at your showroom. Or we have Creative Ladies Nights here in Austin. So, like Lisa had mentioned, just different groups coming in instead of just the designers, because for me, other designers are kind of my competition. So if there's an opportunity for me to cross network at an event, that's even more enticing to me.
Yeah. And the other idea too is also to include a charity component if you are looking at doing an event. And because, we do a lot of that with our boutique, with my retail store, and we'll pick a charity that's near and dear to us. And that's always a great opportunity, if you want to raffle off something, and, or proceeds to something, goes to to support the local community. And then you're able to pool not only your own, contact list, but you can pool the contact list from that charity members, to be able to pull in their, friends and family and things like that, to gain more exposure, to your showroom. So, and again, then that also allows, further publicity in the local paper and that type of thing, because, you've got that community outreach that, you need them, we need you, we're in this together. So that's another way.
That's excellent. We got one question here. We're gonna back up just a little bit and just have some fun with this. Tell me more about Grand Millennial Design. So panel, from my understanding, it is millennials that are not like a million pieces of Yardro on the shelves around, but it's curated. Maybe it's their grandmother's paperweight, or it means something very special to them. It's not a collection of things. But tell me more about the design. Has anyone run across one that they've had to pull something together for?
I mean, I haven't, but I will say that I'm utilizing more and more vintage pieces in my designs. And I would say, I don't know, maybe about a year and a half ago, somebody had said to me, okay, well, what's one thing that, in your design career that you feel is a weakness and you want to develop? And I said, I'd love to start incorporating some more vintage pieces and getting to know more about historical pieces and incorporating them into my projects. And not realizing that it would also potentially end up being an essential part of the business when you can't find, when, things are sitting out on a container ship in the middle of the ocean, you're like, oh, let's pull in some vintage pieces now to kind of, fill in the gaps and things like that. But I think that a kind of eclectic, curated mix and being able to pull in, I always like, never starting a project completely from scratch, right? I always say to a client, let's use something from that other house and let's pull it in so that you can tell a story and that you've got some layers and history and you have that collected look. So I'm very much on board with that concept.
I think also the pandemic has also brought up this nostalgia, that whole cottagecore movement of having this, the world sort of ended the way we knew it and changed forever. And I think that really fueled this desire for some of these things that we grew up with childhood and those vintage prints and little things, touches like that.
Question, what's more important, a one-stop shop with plumbing, hardware, and lighting, or a showroom that specializes in one type of product?
Oof.
You know what they're asking?
Yeah.
You? Okay, so
Yeah.
I'll throw my 2 cents. I am a big showroom advocate. I just think mom and pops across America are the backbone of America. And I think that specialized service, that one-on-one relationship with a local showroom means everything to me. I know there are ones that's like one stop, but what I've learned in there, they're not proficient in all categories. So they might know what a lumen is, but they don't know the degree of kelvins and what that relates to your client and waking up your client or putting them to bed and getting their rhythm, the circadian rhythms in line, telling them, put down the phone, at 5 o'clock, get that 5,000 Kelvin off your face. So you start yawning around 8 o'clock at night. Because if you're on that thing, you're going to have a hard time getting to sleep. I think that's what showrooms bring to the table, that specialty. If I want somebody, how do I say this? If I'm looking for really high-end contemporary, I'm not going to go to a designer that's really shabby chic. That's their niche. Yes, they can do it. But when you walk into a lighting showroom that's been there for 20, 30 years, that thing knows the history of the town. You can walk in with a fixture picture and I bet they'll tell you who it is and who made it and when it got retired. So what do you guys think about the one-stop shopping?
I'll say that quite often, as an interior designer, our work is so detailed that even if I do go to one-stop shop, I can't shop for everything at once, if that makes sense. So I'm going to typically start with appliances and plumbing first, and then come back to do lighting and hardware. I'm not, clients will be completely overwhelmed, and you don't do it in one appointment anyways. And so I think that both have their purpose, but if we're specifically talking about lighting, as you mentioned, Tim, I'm going to want somebody who's an expert at lighting and be able to give me all the answers that I'm looking for and wrap my arms around it and also be able to focus with the client. I don't want to be distracted talking about the oven and then talking about the kitchen faucet. And, to me, this wasn't on one of your trend things, but for me, it's not really critical that all the finishes match in the bathroom or the kitchen. I think that it's more interesting having things layered. So that's my take on it.
Excellent. And Christina, you're a living example of loving to go to a showroom and bypassing the showrooms that have all 4 categories in it. They rave about the clients that you bring in. And even when you walk in the room, how you light up a room because you bring in energy and it kind of wakes up. So they're highly happy with you.
Oh, that's so kind. Well, so, it's interesting from a business perspective, it's much more streamlined for me to go to a showroom that does have everything. But I don't do that. And the reason being is because of the relationship that I have forged with the showroom that I use. So, because clients are charging me by the hour. So if I'm going across town to multiple showrooms, then, they're paying for that. But if I know that I have a relationship with a showroom, that we are going to be quick, we're going to be efficient, they know my general design vibe, there's so much value in that to me. And plus, if I forge a bond with the sales associates, I like to be loyal and give them that business. So, it was a very interesting question for me because, the reality is, I'm inherently lazy. So if I could do it all in one place, but I don't do that because of the very things that I just said.
We've got one more question that I can fit in. I'm sorry, folks, that I've got a lot of questions laying here that came in. Maybe ALA will let us do this, just have a coffee chat where we can all just have a nice little kiki and talk about all these type of questions. But here's one question I've heard a lot. Don't designers charge by the hour? ? Why do they also want to put their own markup on fixtures? Now, let me preface this by saying, remember the story Timmy said earlier about dating? Remember when I said that it's not always what you think it is, and then when you start dating it, you're like, no, I want to marry something different. That makes sense? Okay, so yes, there are designers that charge by the hour and then pass savings along to their clients. And there are designers that think that by the hour and they want to put a little bit on the light fixture. If you're okay with that in a showroom, go for it. But I say that it's the wrong person that you're trying to, it is what it is. You have to have a business. You are not there to give lights fixtures away. Your expertise is worth a lot of money. Looking at graphs, scale is not there on the internet. Not all the Kelvin colors and everything of LED is on the, you want to see it in person. And that's why you need a local showroom. So that's worth a lot. Anyone want to say anything about, don't designers charge by the hour? Why do they also want to put markup? Anyone? You don't have to touch it if you don't want to. Lisa?
I'll touch it just in terms of the way that we work, and maybe this will help explain both. So when I look at design, I look at design and I look at purchasing, and they're 2 different buckets. Okay. So the way my business runs is I charge by the hour to do the design work, and we bill monthly for that effort. And then once the client has made a decision about what it is that they're going to purchase, and we have created a proposal to them and we've received their deposit, at that point, from that point on, I am not charging them my hourly design time to do all the expediting and order processing and procurement for that item. That is all done no charge. So the markup that I've put on that merchandise, let's say whether it's the chandelier, that markup has to cover all of my time and effort to process that order from beginning to end. And so sometimes I make money ordering something and sometimes I don't. So, if I'm working with a lighting showroom that's really efficient and communicates easily with me, and I'm working with manufacturers that I don't have to do hours and hours of follow-up and chasing them after things, then guess what? I'm going to be profitable on that portion of my business. And that to me is how you can earn repeat, loyal, design customers is by, you know, helping them on the front end, choosing the right fixture, but then assisting them in processing the order on the back end. Because for me, it's sort of like a ticking clock. And I know I only have a certain amount of time to work on something before I'm losing.
Perfect.
So I hope that helped explain how it works.
No, it actually did. Christina, do you have anything to add?
Yeah. Aside from what Lisa just explained, the one thing that like I probably have anywhere from 25 to 29 projects going on at one time. So there's a lot of volume there, but that just doesn't happen in a vacuum. I probably am spending $2,000+ a month in marketing to be able to bring those clients into the showroom. So, you know, some of my margin from my hourly fee is going into that, but any, you know, margin I also can get at showrooms help to kind of feed that engine, if you will. So it's, you know, it's not just going into my pocket and, you know, a new Chanel bag pops up and I reinvested into my business. So that's another thing to consider as well, I would say.
One of the things I wanted to touch base really quick, sorry, we're running out of time, is when out marketing to you guys, if they want an excuse to come in and just say hi to you or mail you, is this, the lighting magazine. Can everyone see the lighting magazine?
Ooh.
Right. Okay, so you can attach your business card and you can bring it into the designers and make sure everyone has a copy of it, because this does show the trends for the following year from all manufacturers. So this is a really good tool. And if you go to the ALA website, designers, you can actually sign up and have one sent to you. But I'm sure there's a showroom locally who's going to bring one to you after this. And then also I want to thank Progress Lighting for sponsoring this. Yay, Progress.
Yay.
And you guys, we're out of time, but I want to thank each and every one of you ladies for
thank you
really
guys.
informative. We could have gone on for 2 hours. And thank you, Lisa, Christina, Linda. It's the best. Thank you so much.
Thank
It was
you
a lot
so
of fun.
much.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.